Hi guys, this is day 28 homework. I miss you. I can't wait till we can be back in the classroom. But I figured if I could show you a couple examples, then you'll be able to finish this assignment on your own and then work on the textbook and submit that to me, okay? So the first thing you need to do is take a look at your constant term, because to get your list of possible rational roots, you're going to use the factors of the constant term over the factors of the leading coefficient, which are -10 and 6. So you're going to have factors of 10, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 5, and plus or minus 10 over the factors of 6, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, and plus or minus 6. Okay, then all you need to do is simplify from here. So you're going to have plus or minus 1, you're going to have plus or minus 1/2, you're going to have plus or minus 1/3, plus or minus 1/6. Then I'm moving on to the 2, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 1, we already have, plus or minus 2/3, plus or minus 5, because we already had 1/3 from 2, 6, and then plus or minus 5, plus or minus 5/2, plus or minus 5/3, plus or minus 5/6. Now we can move on to the 10. So 10/1, so plus or minus 10. 10/2, we already had the 5, so 10/3. And the last one is 10/6, which is the same thing as 5/3, which we already have. So there's number 1 for you. Number 2, maybe I'll go back for a second. This is all new to me, so don't laugh. On the next page, I have my number 2. So I pulled up my Desmos. If you don't have a graphing calculator, take a look at Desmos. I already typed it in. You can see that there's a root here, there's a root there, root there, root there. Okay? That's all you're doing for number 2 is just you're sketching the graph and then figuring out which one of the roots we just found makes sense. Okay? So let's sketch our graph. So we saw it was right between negative, it was like 5/2, and it looked like this. We're gonna go down. It went through -1, and then it was right between, and that's terrible, went through -1, and went down this way. We know our y-intercept's at -10, right? And then we saw one of the intercepts was at 2. Okay. Nothing crazy new. You guys have done this before, okay? So now we're going to go to number 3, and we're going to use synthetic division to determine the actual roots. So we know, let's start with the positive one. So we'll use 2, and our coefficients are 6, 11, -24, -39, and -10. Bring that down. You got 6, so 2 times 6 gives me 12. Then I get 23. 23 times 2 gives me 46. And then I bring it down. I get 22. We get 44. And we bring it down. We get 5. Oh, nice. Remainder of 0. Woohoo! Then we'll plug in -5/2. And we have, again, using the previous function. So we have 6, 23, 22, and 5. Bring this down. We got 6. 6 times -5/2 is -15. Bring this down. We get 8. That gives us -40/2, which is -20. Bring that down. We get 2. 2 times -5/2 is -5. Remainder of 0. Very nice. And then our last one, we're going to take that -1 root that we saw from the graph. We're going to use 6, 8, and 2. Bring it down, we get 6, we get -6, we get 2, we get -2, we get 0. So then this is, that 6 and 2 is our 6x plus 2, so that's our last 0 because you saw it cross the graph, the x-axis 4 times, right? So subtract 2, divide by 6, we get x equals -1/3, which you saw from the graph.